Hey everyone, I'm back with your weekly astro weather for the week of October the 9th to the 15th. If you hear any noises in the background, that is my stepkids upstairs. Hopefully they won't interrupt us, but if you do hear things, please just ignore it. Anyway, on that note, someone has left me a message last week. You know, I film these on the Sunday and then usually put them up on the Monday. And of course, Sunday night, was that Sunday night, Monday? Yeah, it was early Monday morning or whatever it was. There was that big shooting in Las Vegas, and they asked, you know, what's going on in the US? Now, when I do these are very general and they're sort of very worldwide thing. And for something like an event like that, you have to look specifically at what was happening for the chart of that particular city and also particular people involved. So it's actually quite complex. It's really hard to predict those kind of things, but it is something that, you know, it does affect us. So one thing that I was looking at was that we did have Pluto go direct just a few days before, and Pluto is in charge of things like death and transformation, also grief and loss. And certainly there was, you know, some big headlines in the news around death around that time, and that was one of them. Tom Petty passed away. But it's hard to predict exactly how that's all going to play out. And so people have been talking a lot more, obviously, about death and guns and things like that, which Pluto is in charge of. And it's something that, you know, it's hard to predict specifically how things are going to play out. Obviously, you know, and things like that, you know, the planets, somebody had said, impel, they don't compel. So the energies are there, but we always have free will how we're going to do things or what we're going to do with that. The planets don't force us to do things. They just are energies that are around that make things more likely, or that, you know, if you have specific things in your chart, it may trigger things, but you always have a choice, and that person had a choice in doing what they were doing. So, you know, obviously a very tragic, horrible thing that happened. We can only hope that out of that horrible, terrible, awful thing that, you know, maybe some laws or something get changed or people re-examine things. But, you know, not to be political or anything, but let's hope. That's all we can do. So that's, you know, kind of my take on what happened as far as astrologically, but people have choices, and, you know, astrology doesn't make people do things. It just, you know, sort of says, here's your strengths, here's your weaknesses, here's the energies that's going on, but you always have a choice in what you do. Free will, you know, kind of trumps all those things. So anyway, on that sad note, let us get on with what's going on this week. Okay, so the headlines. The big headline this week is that Jupiter is moving into Scorpio this week. Jupiter takes about 12 years to go all the way around the zodiac, so he spends about a year in each sign, and he is moving into the sign of Scorpio on, where is it now? Tuesday, October 10th at 8:20 a.m. Central Time. All the times are in Central Time. So Jupiter, when he's in Libra, Jupiter is a planet of expansion. He asks us to grow, and so he was in Libra for the past year. So people were hoping when Jupiter was in Libra that it would lead to things being more peaceful and more harmonious, but actually there was a lot more division. So it's all about the scales and balance, and so we have two sides kind of trying to balance things out, or, you know, at odds with each other, and it's all about those scales and how are we going to balance things. Also about relationships and partnering up with people. Well, now Jupiter's moved into Scorpio, and it'll be in Scorpio for the next year or so. So issues like sex, death, power, the occult, all those taxes, other people's money is all going to come up. So expect, you know, we have had a lot of discussion around the US around rights around birth control, so those issues will continue to come up, as well as sex. Expect more sex scandals, expect scandals around tax money and banks and large institutions with money and how that's played out. There's also an expectation that there'll be more stuff coming up about the inequalities between rich and poor. Power is very important in the sign of Scorpio, so that's also going to come up. How we want to look at power, you know, generally in our lives. Also, it has to do, Scorpio has to do with death as well. So topics around violence and gun control and things like that are things that are going to be talked about a lot more. Expect that over the next year or so. A lot of intensity too. People don't, whereas before people were kind of like, I want to see the other side of things. There's going to be a lot of intensity in Scorpio where people are just like, no, this is the way I want things. So a lot of intensity, I think, over the next year. But Jupiter is asking us to grow in those areas. It's asking us to examine our beliefs in those areas. So it could be kind of an interesting and intense kind of year coming up. But anyway, shift is happening on Tuesday, so you might feel some of the energy in that. I'm going to find my cards. Where are they here? Let's see what Jupiter and Scorpio is. Yes, my Jupiter. Okay. So Jupiter in Libra, which wasn't all year, is in the sign of, says publicity. Oh wait, that's Leo. Haha. Sorry. So, here it is in Scorpio, manipulation. So some people might try to manipulate us, but Scorpio is also when secrets get revealed, so that's why I'm saying expect scandals and things coming out. It's also a time where there's more interest in the occult as well, which is kind of cool, kind of interesting. We also have Venus moving into Libra, and she's moving into Libra on Saturday at 5:11 a.m. This is a sign she's very happy in because she rules Libra. So Venus in Libra, whereas in Virgo, she was quite kind of critical and wanted things done a very certain way. When she's in Libra, she very much wants to just kind of get along with others, wants to balance things out. On this deck it says indecision. So the danger with Venus in Libra is a really lovely sign. It's a great time for marriages, for weddings. It's a really good time for partnering up with people, getting along with people. Harmony is promoted. Really good time for the arts as well, because Venus, she loves the arts, and in Libra, she loves things to be harmonious and beautiful. It's a good time for, you know, getting a makeover and redoing your house and all those kind of things. Great time for aesthetics. The danger is that we are trying so hard to get along with others that we sometimes let ourselves get walked over or agree to things that we may not always agree to. So don't let yourself be too harmonious to the point where you're kind of giving over control over yourself. So watch for that with Venus in Libra. The other thing that's happening in this week is we have fourth quarter. The moon goes into its final quarter for this cycle on Thursday at 7:25 a.m. Final quarters are good times for doing rituals to let things go. It's a good time for protection rituals and also for banishing things. And if there's anything you want to reduce, like if you're on a diet or you're trying to reduce debt or anything you want to go away, that's a good time for that. So, and that's on Thursday. So you might want to take advantage of that if you're into that kind of thing. So let's go with the day-to-day. So we start out the week on Monday, October 9th with the moon in Gemini. So we're feeling very communicative. Great day for travel, great day for talking. If you are in Canada like I am, it is Thanksgiving that day. Happy Thanksgiving, my Canadian friends. So great time to visit people and travel and enjoy each other's company on Monday. We also have the Sun square Pluto and Mercury square Pluto that day. So it's a time where we don't want to be passive or manipulate people. We may have some direct confrontations with people. It's a good time to investigate things, but the danger is that we may see something that's not actually there. We may try to read between the lines and we're reading something that's wrong. And that's why being direct is better than trying to be manipulative that day or trying to, like, I don't know, suss something out. We just have to be direct with people. But there might be, that may cause some conflicts. So just be aware of that. But a lot of high energy that day. So try not to, if you are visiting family that day, get into like a big fight or anything. Don't read into things that aren't really there. Just take things at the face value that they are. On Tuesday, we have a void moon at 5:25 p.m. and then the moon moves into Cancer at 10:38 p.m. So most of the day is in Gemini. So good day to travel, get things done. And then, yeah, so it moves into Cancer. So the next day for Wednesday, and then most, yeah, for Wednesday and most of Thursday, it's in Cancer, which is a very nurturing sign. We probably want to stay home a little bit more. We're more likely to be worried, but we're also very imaginative as well. Then on Wednesday as well, we've got Venus opposite of Chiron. So there's opportunities for us on Wednesday to heal some stuff from old romances. We might run into an ex-lover or an old friend, but it's an opportunity for us to heal some of those old issues. We also have Mars square Saturn, which may cause delays. You may feel not prepared for things. There's a lack of preparation, or somebody else's lack of preparation might cause delays for you. In the end, things will get done, but it just kind of shows you where you need to be more prepared with things on Wednesday. On Thursday, we have a void moon at 11 p.m. And so most of the day, the moon is still in Cancer on Thursday. We also have the moon in its final quarter. We have Mercury has a sextile with Saturn. So after Wednesday, feeling like you're not prepared, Thursday's an opportunity to get more prepared, more organized, to talk about how you could do things better. So Thursday's the day to kind of fix all those things. And then Friday, the moon moves into Leo very early at 1:41 a.m. When moon's in Leo, we're a lot more outgoing. We want to shine, we want to perform, we want to show our stuff. But we might be more like proud and a little more sensitive during that time. I don't think there's any other aspects on Friday. And then Saturday, this is when Venus moves into Libra. So again, we're feeling a lot more harmonious. It's a really great day to get any kind of beauty treatment. Actually, I'm getting my hair re-rainbowed that day, which, you know, is kind of a lucky coincidence. So that looks good. And I think that's it for Saturday. And then Sunday, we have a void moon at 8:45 a.m. and the moon moves into Virgo at 6:19 a.m. So Sunday, we want to get stuff done. We're organized, we're practical. Whereas like Friday, Saturday, we're more like, or better days to go out and do things because the moon being in Leo. So anything else for Sunday? Yes, we have Mercury opposite Uranus. One of the things I read about that particular aspect is to avoid traveling by air. So, you know, don't freak out if you've got a plane flight that day. But it's just saying there, you know, there might be delays, might be some unexpected things that happen. So just be prepared for that. It's also a day where we may be in conflict with others. Our ideas may clash with other people, especially people from other generations. And we also have Mars opposite Chiron that day. So old conflicts may come out, old battles, old things that we thought we were done with are going to come up that day. So be extra kind to yourself that day. We also have Pallas Athena trine Juno. So it's a good day to talk with your partner, whether that's business partner or your romantic partner, about some of your strategies and thoughts about moving forward with things. What are your plans? What are your goals? It's a good day for that. But just be aware Sunday's a day where you might be a little testy, or people around you might be a little testy. So that's what I'm seeing for this week for the general energies of kind of what's going on with things. If you are looking for something more specific to you, I do astrological birth charts. They are on my website, my Etsy shop, if you want to link below, because these are the general energies, but everybody's astrology is entirely different, and certain things that are happening will affect you more than others depending what your chart looks like. So anyway, I hope this is helpful. Like and subscribe, and I'll talk to y'all next time.